Because Zelensky is terrified as well. Let's say he backpedaled, he chickened out. Everything was ready. All these conversations were ready. The rare earth materials, minerals, I don't know, the rare earth stuff was ready. It was like this negotiation was ready, and all of a sudden, he chickened out. Ukraine, Zelensky, emboldened by European pro-war rhetoric, has reneged on his agreement to sign the rare earth metals deal. Treasury Secretary Besant traveled to Kyiv to get it signed, and Zelensky refused to sign despite his commitment to Trump. Why would you do something like this? Why would you do something like this when everything was ready? So it was checking by audio to make sure that everything was nice. Zelensky refused to sign the agreement on rare earth metals proposed by U.S. Treasury Secretary Besant. The only thing that happened in the last 24 hours was, I guess that this is what was changed, this post by Donald Trump on Truth Social. Remember that Truth Social is Donald Trump's actual social media, and it is usually replicated on Twitter or X. That was yesterday, I just had a lengthy and highly productive phone call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. You know that Zelensky already didn't like this. We discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, the power of the dollar, and various other subjects. We both reflected on the great history of our nations and the fact that we fought so successfully together in World War II, remembering that Russia lost tens of millions of people and we, likewise, lost so many. Now, many people are having a meltdown over this. Oh, how is Trump just talking friendly with Putin, who is a killer, who is a murderer, who is this, such and such? Yeah, but you want to get the things done. You want to get things done. You want to negotiate, and stop the blood spilling, because essentially Ukraine's, let's say, men have been wiped out thoroughly, so that has to stop. We each talked about the strengths of our respective nations and the great benefit that we will someday have in working together. But first, as we both agreed, we want to stop the millions of deaths taking place in the war with Russia and Ukraine. President Putin even used my very strong campaign motto of common sense. I will have to copyright that, because we are the common sense crusaders, and now Trump and Putin are using it. Why? I will copyright that. I'm going to copyright common sense. Common sense copyrighted. We both believe very strongly in it. We agreed to work together very closely, including visiting each other's nations. We have also agreed to have our respective teams start negotiations immediately, and we will begin by calling President Zelensky. Maybe Zelensky was not picking up the call. Of Ukraine to inform him of the conversation, something which I will be doing right now. I have asked Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Director of the CIA John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, and Ambassador and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to lead the negotiations, which I feel strongly will be successful. But of course, you needed Zelensky as well. And Zelensky, it seems that he didn't like the proposal. Millions of people have died in a war that would not have happened if I were president, but it did happen, so it must end. No more lives should be lost. I want to thank President Putin for his time and effort with respect to this call, and for the release yesterday of Mark Fogel, a wonderful man that I personally greeted last night at the White House. I believe this effort will lead to a successful conclusion, hopefully soon, but right now it has been stalled. And this was only 24 hours ago when Zelensky tweeted himself, I had a meeting with Secretary Scott Bessent, his first international visit, which was to Ukraine. We value our partnership with the United States, are grateful, yada, 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 strive to expand our joint capabilities, especially in security matters. We received the U.S. vision for deepening our cooperation, but we want to stop the war. We want to stop this war, and he had agreed to sign the rare earth metals negotiation. Like, let's all this money, but not only money, of course, but all this weaponry and that has been granted by the United States government. You remember during all the disastrous Biden administration. Then all of a sudden he backs down. He is not interested in that. So, well, it's again, there are other angles to this. There was this video. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but this video was in response to that call with Trump. I had a long and detailed conversation with President Trump. I appreciate his genuine interest in our shared opportunities and how we can bring about real peace together. We discussed many aspects, diplomatic, military, and economic, and President Trump informed me about what Putin told him. We believe that America's strength, together with Ukraine and all our partners, is enough to push Russia to peace. Okay, the words, it's interesting that in the words he says push Russia to peace. At no point, he says we can bring about real peace together. But he doesn't use the words "end the war." All right, I find it odd. Maybe I'm just a bit picky about that, because the easiest way to say what you want to say is to end the war, which is what you really want. That's what you ultimately want. But there's also this stuff that Pete Hegseth, Zelensky reported to be on suicide watch. Oh, Chebureki, man. Zelensky reported to be on suicide watch after U.S. Secretary of Defense says no NATO and no U.S. troops for Ukraine, and no Article 5 for any forces deployed to Ukraine as peacekeepers. Russia officially just won the pissing match with NATO. So maybe that's another thing that Zelensky didn't like. I'm going to play just a few seconds of the clip just to check his body language, just in case.
Дорогі українці, українки,
You're gonna, so you can see it's in Ukrainian, so I'm going to zoom in for the captions.
Непростий сьогодні день. Щойно провів засідання РНБО, рішення ухвалене, буде опубліковане завтра. Захищаємо нашу державу та відновлюємо справедливість. Кожен, хто знищував національну безпеку України та допомагав Росії, кожен повинен відповідати. Мільярди, які були зароблені фактично продажем України, українських інтересів, української безпеки, повинні бути заблоковані і повинні працювати на захист України і українців. І це буде обов'язково.
Okay, so my just a very quick impression is that there's some stalls, there's some challenges, there's some obstacles to the negotiation. So this might take a while. This is not gonna be like it's not gonna be this week. This is not gonna be this week. This guy doesn't look like he wants to get this sorted out, which should be as quickly as possible because of that, because of the amount of blood that has been spilled, and they have the opportunity and they have the means with the rare earth metals negotiation. He could do that today, but he's not going to do it. What does he want? What does he want? I don't know, but we will be finding out I know that we will finding out in the following days. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments.